Hello and welcome to Cloud is Now. I'm Zahra, your host for today. Today it's all about understanding and improving your security posture with Microsoft 365. Let's invite our expert of the day, Joanna, a modern work and security business group lead in Microsoft. Hello, Joanna.
Hello, hello.
So nice to have you here today.
Same here. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Could you share more about the cybersecurity climate in Singapore?
Yeah, this is a very top of mind question for a lot of businesses today. We definitely see not only the number of breaches actually increasing, cybersecurity attacks definitely have increased, but also the cost of all these breaches have also started to really, grow year on year. In fact, last year itself, we saw a 10% increase just in the cost of breaches. So cybersecurity, it is definitely a very big, important area for all businesses to consider. And because it's, one of the mission that we actually have in Microsoft is empowering every business and every organization and every individual to achieve more, we want to really do our part in terms of protecting everyone. So Microsoft Security, we have recently announced that we're going to spend 20 billion. So Microsoft is spending 20 billion over the next 5 years, just really looking at security technologies, and processes. Really, our own goal here is really to enable everybody, to stay protected, such that we can actually achieve more together.
Are more SMBs being hacked, costing them time and money more than ever before?
Interestingly, many people would think that, hey, only the big organizations get hacked. Yes. But in reality, actually, we see a lot of survey data research show us that more than 70% of SMBs are actually getting hacked. Right, and today the challenges they have is that they don't have the right resources, they don't have the scale of the infrastructure, unlike bigger organizations, and most likely they're the ones that fall prey to a lot of this cybersecurity attack because they don't have the adequate protection that they need for their business.
And how is Microsoft sort of helping with that?
Absolutely, a very interesting point. Yeah. So remember I said earlier, we want to protect everyone. Yes. So lots of awareness and activity, we have been investing in the last few months and over the year in terms of making sure that our technology is pervasive enough. SMBs are actually educated because security is really a game that is a teamwork game. It's a team sport, right? It's not just about providing the right technology, but it's also making sure that people, right, and the processes are in place for people to actually make it easier for you to stay protected.
What do you think are 3 important ways to secure business data?
Yeah. I would probably offer you 4.
Okay.
All right. I think one of the fundamental things about security is making sure that only the right people have access to data. Right. So what we call identity management, making sure that only the right people are actually given access to the tools that they need to work. Yes. Right. First one. Second one is proactively managing threats. Because a lot of attackers are actually, doing all sorts of things, whether it's ransomware, it's phishing, emails, they're trying to steal data out from you, your emails, your password can be hacked. Right? So how do you ensure that you're proactively protecting your employees and you're keeping your data safe? Yes. The third one is around information protection. We are working in an era where we are sharing a lot of information right now, right? Whether we are remote workers or we're in the office, data is king. But how do you make sure that this information does not get leaked and cannot get hacked by people? Exactly. Right? How do you make sure that you have in control? This thing is what we call information protection. And what we meant by that is really data loss protection. How do you make sure that you classify some data to say, hey, this is very sensitive information like credit cards information, right? Or your NRIC data, for example. You don't want those to be stolen. So how do you ensure that this kind of data is actually being protected, marked as sensitive, and therefore only certain policies and people have access to the data itself. And the last one I would say is, especially true in the current setting, a lot of us are actually using personal devices to access work data.
Yes, that is true.
Right? Yeah. Because you're working from home. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that companies are looking for is how do you ensure that you still have the same level of protection for your employees who are using their personal devices to access company data? Okay. How do you keep that separate? How do you ensure that your data is not moving from company, store, your data storage space to a personal device place? So 4 areas I would say that, companies need to really look at, start doing it, which is identity, making sure the right people have the right access. Yes. 2, proactively protect your threats against threats. 3, protect the sensitive information that you can. And 4 is making sure that you have a very clear strategy and protection around personal devices protection.
Thank you for such an informative answer to that question. Next question is training your employees to detect threats. Very important.
Yeah. Security is a team sport.
Yes.
Right? Just like if I use a house analogy, you have a key to your door in your house, but you also want to educate your family members on, hey, there's certain things you need to do, right? Make sure you lock the windows, make sure that when you're going out, close the door behind you, don't just open door for anybody. You have all these little rules around it. So everybody in the organization plays a part. It's not just a role of an IT, it's not a role of a security officer, but it's also the role of users like you and me. Right, and educating users is a very important step in making sure that everybody gets the right level of protection. Just last month was the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. October is always a Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We partner many of the industry agencies, I would say, and we bring together messages, cybersecurity 101 trainings, certifications, awareness activity, whether it's webinars, it's blogs, it's infographics. The whole idea here is to educate users, right? So that everybody know that, hey, how do you spot a phishing email? Yes. How do you protect yourself against, clicking on attachments, for example? What are the steps that you as a user can actually proactively leverage or use in order to protect the company's data as well as yourself? Because a lot of times all this data leakages is actually is by accident. It's not something that you have the intention to actually share the information. But then again, of course, is how do you use technology to improve the process such that you and I are protected, from all this accidental sharing or leakages of information.
Any other advice for our viewers, Joanna?
Yeah, so apart from Zero Trust Foundation or having that framework, I would say 2 other things. One is really simplify the complexity, right? With like Microsoft 365 for Business or Business Premium, it's a solution that really has end-to-end security inbuilt. It makes it easier for any businesses to really manage. Right, and then at the same time, it's about saving costs or saving money, because when you have multiple products, right, not only you have exposures, at the same time you also need to learn how to manage them. It's also harder for you to see threats. When something happens, you're not sure exactly is it here or is it there. So having the ability to have an integrated solution like Microsoft 365 will really help you, have the single pane of glass to really look at what's happening. Right. Of course, lastly, very important message here will be leverage the Singapore government's cybersecurity grants. It is a grant that's actually been available. It provides many businesses, especially SMBs, the ability to leverage subsidies from the government to actually deploy and work very closely with partners like Singtel to deploy security solutions very quickly.
I see. Are companies actually aware of this grant that is available for them?
Yeah, I think riding on from last year, there was a productivity PSG grants that was made available, and many companies actually took advantage of it. I think for cybersecurity, it is somewhere that we can do a lot more. I think awareness building is a good outreach that every one of us should really embark on. Lots of businesses can definitely still continue to take advantage of this scheme that is made available by the government.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the insightful sharing, Joanna. Do check out a limited time only offer by Singtel. Now you can enjoy savings on your Microsoft 365 Business Premium. If you are interested, you may approach your accounts manager or chat with us on WhatsApp. Do scan the QR code here to share your feedback on today's episode. We'd love to hear from you. Catch our episodes on unified communications and productivity. Don't miss it. Till next time, I'm Zahra. Thank you for joining Cloud is Now. Bye.